Hi, I'm Edgar Camacho. We are from the Wenatchee Valley College Refrigeration Technology Program.
My name is Jaime Castillo, and we're going to show you how to troubleshoot an electric furnace.
I'm Juan Navarro, and we're troubleshooting the electric furnace because we had a complaint of a customer saying that her unit doesn't work, it doesn't turn on when she calls it. So we're going to explain on how to work on that electric furnace and talk about safety and protection. And one important safety protection is glasses, and we're going to put those on before anything else. The first step that we're going to do to troubleshoot the electric furnace is Jaime over here is going to turn on the circuit breaker. And Edgar over there is going to make sure he's going to turn it on, see if it's working or not. Okay, so we're going to make sure it's on. And in this case, it's 15. And Edgar's gonna we're gonna crank up the thermostat, see if it's gonna turn on or not.
Okay, so here we have the thermostat. It's a Honeywell thermostat. We're gonna make sure that it's getting power. So we're gonna go ahead and switch it to on, into emergency heat, and then we're gonna turn on the fan to on. And then there we heard the contact click. We have it set at a 90 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay, now we're going to Jaime.
So after we verified that the furnace didn't work, the first procedure to prevent electrical shocks of any kind is to shut the breaker off.
And now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to remove the cover to expose the wire inside. We just got 1 bolt here, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab a screwdriver, or a nut driver, and I'm going to remove it. Make sure we don't lose our hardware. Now we got ourselves the exposed internals of the furnace. We can see we have the wiring, we have our thermostat, our wiring, our sequencers, our line in, which is line in, it's a 208 volt system, the black wire, and this is our neutral wire. And down here we got our blower motor, which we already tested and it's not coming on when we press the fan on and emergency heat.
Okay, now back to Jaime.
So now after we took the cover off and looked to see what we have inside the furnace, we're going to turn the breaker back on and to start troubleshooting with the...
Okay, so now that we have power, we're going to grab our fluke meter and we're going to turn it to volts, and then we're going to see if we're getting line voltage in. So I'm going to put this in here. Then I'm going to measure for voltage. And we have ourselves 210 alternating current. So it means that we do have power to the heater.
And we could compromise that because this data over here, it says it's a 208, so it has 2 volts more, so that's a good sign.
Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it on again to on, and then we got our emergency heat, and it's not coming on. So we're going to turn it off to prevent our heaters to melt together, and then we're going to have another problem. Okay, so now that we know that we have 210 volts coming into the furnace, now we're going to check if we're getting voltage to our transformer, which is steps down from a 208 to a 24 volt. So we're going to come in here, we're going to read, we're going to go to comment and to line, and then as we can see we're reading 210, which means we are getting our voltage supply. And then we're gonna go back here to our secondary part of the transformer, and we're gonna touch these two leads, and then we see we got 27, which is
Okay,
good.
Since now we know that the transformer is getting power, I want to see if it's actually calling for heat. The thermostat, and it's calling 32 volts, so it's good. And then now we're going to check the fan, because the fan is not working, and it has a 210, which it should be working. And the black one doesn't have power, so that means the black one has to have something wrong. The elements, see if they have power. Wait a little so they turn on. That's 210 and 210. That means it's working. Okay, so the only thing now is back to that black wire. So we're gonna check. We're here. Watch out with the smoke. And I think I found a problem. This wire is not even connected. So that's the reason why there was no power over here. Because like that wire wasn't connected. So let's see what happens when we connect it. But first make sure your thermostat is not calling for heat, or it'll just turn on right away.
Circuit breaker.
Or else you could like turn off the circuit breaker, which I am going to do right now. Now that the circuit breaker is on, you just plug it in back. Turn on the breaker again. Crank it up. Turn it on. For emergency heat. And now it's working. I'm gonna check over here. We're getting marking power. That means it's working, but it's not marking any power. So okay, now that you know it works, we shut it off. You have to wait so it shuts off, because the elements lose heat when the fan is shut off, and then the fan takes out the heat, the bad smell, and all that. Okay, now I'm just gonna turn off the circuit breaker. And Edgar's going to put the cover back on.
Make sure we gotta do this after every job. Clean up after ourselves, put our covers back on, because we don't want a mad customer. That's the last thing our company wants. Gotta find our bolts. Put our bolts back on. Gotta use our tool, our nut driver.
Okay, and then after it's on, we come back to the circuit breaker, turn it on, turn it on again. And it's working. The blower motor is working now. So yep,
Gotta make sure it warms up.
it warms up.
So we're going to check the temperature with the thermometer, the fluke thermometer. We're going to check for efficiency of the electric heater, make sure that it's working properly, and then it's first you have to turn the thermometer on for it to work. And right now it's marking 83 degrees Fahrenheit. And as you can see, it's slowly going up. You're supposed to wait up to be able to find the proper temperature rating.
So now that the temperature, we know the temperature is working. I mean, it has the right temperature. We turn it off. Wait for it to go off. This something takes a while because the elements get too hot and they have to wait until they cool, or else if the fan shuts off first, the elements can break or something. That's pretty much it, folks. So that's how to troubleshoot a furnace, and we found the problem. Okay, again, I'm Juan Navarro.
And I'm Jaime Castillo.
And I'm Edgar. And thank you guys for being patient, and hope you guys enjoy the video.
And next time you should think about using Fluke, because it's the best in the West.
Thank you.
Thank you all.